Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. Now, I am updating the TeknoParrot games, but I am going to show customers also how to just add their games instead of maybe waiting for me to upload the files and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll just do a quick run through how to add your TeknoParrot games, where to get the files you need, and where to get the media and stuff like that, which is quite simple. So what we'll do is, at the main menu, you want to hold the Alt key and press F4. You will come to a black screen, and then you would hold Control Alt and press the Delete key. Now you will see a blue screen. I don't know if the recording will record this blue screen, but you would have a blue screen in front of you. You would click Task Manager, then you would click File, Run New Task on Task Manager, and click OK. Now that would load Windows in the background. You would close Task Manager down. Now you would have the desktop itself. You would have what we see here. You may not have these files on the sides and stuff like that, but the next step is to go down to services. So we need to go to the search bar at the bottom there, type in services, click on services, and just scroll all the way down till you see Windows Update. Now sometimes it will say it's running, sometimes it won't. If it's not saying it's running, then that's fine, you can carry on to the next step. If it says running, you want to right click, go to properties, click stop first, allow it to stop. If it doesn't stop, close the box down, do it again, and just click stop. And then change that to disable the startup type, apply, and OK. That just avoids any Windows updates or anything messing with your SHAR-KADE OS drive. Now then, you close that box down once you're confident enough that the Windows update is stopped. Now the bottom right hand corner here on our SHAR-KADE cabinets does have Wi-Fi. This machine doesn't, but you would click on there, and then you would just go onto your network connection, type in your network password, and connect directly to the internet. Now I have a wired internet connection on this PC, so I'll just plug the cable in. So the cable's in, hopefully pings up. So we are now connected to the internet. What you need to do is just head over to your Firefox and find this site here, which is teknoparrot.link.fe.fr. Now then, you would head to Arcade, find the game you wish, and then let's say if we wanted, what have I got? Tetris. I'll show you how to install Tetris. Some games can be fiddly. The install files, the game files, are known as different files and formats. You've got to find them within TeknoParrot itself. Go to the forums, find out how to load the game up itself. In TeknoParrot, we have all these new games that can be added. So Tetris. So you'd click on Tetris. I recommend on up to box you just get the premium download. Pay for the premium. You'll get a pop-up. Just close that down. Make sure you're not clicking on anything you don't want to download, anything dodgy or out like that. So make sure you pay for the premium, which is about $5, which is about £3. For 30 days, it'll download everything you need off the site, and really fast. So I've already downloaded the game, so let's close these boxes down. First of all, as well, if you want the wheel art as well, instead of messing it on going into the TeknoParrot emulator itself, that usually has a wheel art in there as well. I'll show you that in a second. But what I'll do is, because this site itself has all the wheel art there ready, once you've downloaded a game, I suggest you just take your time, go through each game that you want to set up, go to save image as, and just stick it straight on the desktop somewhere. Where did that save actually? I'm not sure where that saved. Right, so that's saved to the desktop. I also have a large collection of wheel art backed up anyways. So if we head into this PC, go to D drive, this Hyperspin drive, Arcade, go to Emulators, go to TeknoParrot, probably the TeknoParrot update. That should have most of the wheel art and stuff in there. Also go to TeknoParrot update, then it's icons. Then you'll have all the icons. They'll all be named how you should have them in in your database as well itself. So I'll explain that as well in a moment. So you would have all your wheel art and etc, etc. But what we want to do is go to D drive, arcade, go to media, and head down to TeknoParrot. Sorry if you hear some budgies chirping in the background. I kind of seem to shut them up. If we go to TeknoParrot there, go to images, go to wheel, and then we do have a backup folder. Like I say, any wheel art that's in here will enable the game in Hyperspin itself. We actually have Tetris there in the menu, so we don't need the desktop version wherever it's gone. So Tetris there, it looks exact. No, it's named slightly different, so we'll just delete that. So like I say about the naming of the files themselves, just make sure that as it recognizes in TeknoParrot itself, it is named as the game you're trying to load. So some of these games is VT3, and for Virtual Tennis 3, VT4, etc, etc. So then, what we'll do is we'll go and make sure the game works. We'll open up the new TeknoParrot update, and then as we see, we've got Tetris there already set up. But what I'll do is I'll go to add game, and I'll just remove that game and start from scratch. So Tetris, I really apologize for the birds. They're happy at least. Right, so delete game, then I'll just go back, add game, and just has it deleted? Doesn't look like it's deleted. Tetris. There. It was just because it was still on the same page. So we'll click add game. Head down to Tetris. Why is it not bloody added? Let's have a look. Add game. Let's close TeknoParrot. It looks like it's glitched out. So we'll go to gear, the top 3 lines, go to games, add games, find Tetris, add game. Right, now we'll have it there. Now you just want to head into the game settings, so make sure before anything else as well, I'm getting ahead of myself, is just make sure you have extracted wherever you've downloaded your game to, extracted it to the TeknoParrot games. So I have my new games in games, and then new TeknoParrot, and then if we just head down here, we have Tetris. So we'll have Tetris there. You just want to extract, as long as it's in the folder, extract the folder. I'll just drag it to the desktop for the moment. You can right click and extract, but I'll just drag it there. And then go back to E drive, go to games, go to TeknoParrot, and just make sure it is in there, which I already have it extracted. So the game is in there in its full integrity. So I'll just delete that out. So we'll have the game there in games, TeknoParrot, Tetris. So we'll want to head over to game settings, and then in the executable line here, which this blank line is where you would redirect the executable to the game itself. So if we click on that, and then we should have a folder. It could be opened in any TeknoParrot folder on another folder. Just make sure you go to E drive, games, TeknoParrot, find the game that you've installed. So ours is Tetris, and then we have the game in Game HD. Now you're going to have to play around sometimes. Some of these applications will load the game. There is forums online to check and find out what the best application is to load. Some games have different file formats. which I can show you in a second. So if I just go on to Game HD, because I know that works, turn windowed mode off, and I'll change it to 1920 by 1080p because that's our default resolution that we generally use. So 1080, and then we will click save, and then you would go to controller setup. So what we'll do is we'll just add a player 1 coin, and then add a player 2 coin, press start. These are all the arcade controls I'm using at the moment, so we'll press up, down, left, right, button 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can map it any which way you want on the arcade controls. If you prefer to use the Xbox controller, you can map it with the Xbox controller itself. Up, down, left, right, and then button 1, right. So we will save them settings. I'll go ahead and launch the game in a second. I just want to show an example. So if we go to Rambo and go to game settings, as you can see, we have eDrive, games, TeknoParrot, Rambo, ELF, and Rambo ELF. Right, so as standard, Rambo will only really load from that Rambo DELF file rather than an exe file. Some games also are self-loading, and then you need to use jconfig, which you can download on the Emuline website. And then you've got to set up. Some games can be a nightmare to set up or fiddly, and you've got to do some extra stuff with them. Some games are just plug and play. So let's take a look at Rambo ELF, and then you've got all these different versions of Rambo ELF files here. So I've currently got Rambo D ELF set up. There's Rambo MHD. You can go in, start it up, test the game. If it doesn't work, quit the game, try a different file, so on and so on. So we'll just back out of that, and we'll go ahead and test Tetris. So I'll go to launch game. So I am recording a screen, but I'm not sure if you'll get a blank screen or if you'll get the same screen as me. So if you can see this, I'll add a couple of coins. So we've added some coins there, and then just press start. And then you can add a player 2 as well. As you can see, we have full control. And that's it. So you'd hit escape. Now we know that game loads and we know it works. Now the next step is to get it working in Rocket Launcher. So we'll just close down that. Another quick note before I close it down is with the new controller setup as well, if you are getting games that are crashing on load, I'll just show an example here. So we'll have Far Cry Paradise Lost. You will get an error. That error I've found out is actually because I don't have the Wii controller set up. So I don't have the Wii controls and everything set up with this unit. So if it's not set up and added to, if it's not set up with the Wii controllers and it's not detecting them controls, you'll get that error. So basically, I think this is set up in mode 3 on the Wii controller kit. So if we go into controller settings, you can see there we have the joystick, point of view, up, down, joystick sets, so on and so on. So that's 2 players with the Wii controllers, but when you turn plug in the Wii bar, make sure your Xbox controllers are plugged in and synced up, then plug in the Wii bar, set it to mode 3, and then you should have no issues with the TeknoParrot shooters and stuff crashing, so you wouldn't have a crash on you and stuff like that. So it's a nice little indicator if you haven't got your Wii bar set up correctly that them games aren't going to load correctly, they're just going to close down. So we'll go back, we'll close that down, and then we'll have Tetris there. Now, we've already put over the wheelot, so what I'll do is I'll head to that wheelot because we want to use the name of that wheelot in the database of TeknoParrot itself. So if we go to Arcade, I'm not sure what that is there, but we'll go to Arcade, Media, TeknoParrot. I always like to have the wheel art opened up. It just makes it easier finding what games I'm adding, make sure all the text and everything in the databases are correct. So I'll just drag that over there, and then we'll head down to TeknoParrot. So I'll type TeknoParrot, Techno in, so find TeknoParrot, edit the database, and then we will go ahead. I'll just delete Space Invaders out because I tested that and that wasn't working. And then we'll just go and add Tetris. So Tetris is already there, but what I'll do is I'll delete that out. So I'll cut that, and then if you want to add a game to the database, you find out what order you want it in. So if it's alphabetical order, you're putting your database together as you would find the end of the string of code for the game. So that's usually the end of game here. So you would highlight that whole section there, you would right click, copy, just click on the end arrow there, hit enter, and then paste. That gives you a whole new game line. It does repeat Tekken there, so we don't want Tekken, we want to rename it Tetris. So we will get the name of the wheelot, we will copy that, and then we'll just add it in between them quotes there. And then as a description, the description can be anything you like. It is best to have the description named nicely, so we'll add some spaces there. So we'll have Tetris Grandmaster 3 with a space, then Terra Instinct. Right, so we will file, save that, and then close that down. Then we want to head over to modules, PC launcher auto hotkey, and then edit system specific module settings. I don't know if the game is already added in here, which it looks like it is, but if it isn't, you would click add new ROM, find the game that you want to add, double click it, and then it'll add it in there. Now I've just set that up with the new TeknoParrot. So if you want the string of code, this is directed to the older TeknoParrot. So what we'll do is we'll head up to aliens extermination. So we'll click on description to put everything in alphabetical order. And now we want that string of line there, which is emulators TeknoParrot update TeknoParrot UI.exe. So we'll copy that string of code there. Then we'll head back down to Tetris and just redirect the emulator to open up from that new TeknoParrot update, and then just the TeknoParrot UI, we will copy that and then paste it into there. And then if we just double check, because I can see this is incorrect, that string of information, so we want to go to aliens extermination. See, we have D drive alien extermination, so we don't want it E drive. If I just copy that whole string, go to notepad, type in note. I really apologize for the noise from the birds. There's really nothing I could do. So in there we want to remove the profile from the XML, and then we want to go ahead and just check our E drive, games, TeknoParrot, and then scroll right down the bottom, and we'll have all our different shortcuts text files here. So if we don't have the Tetris in there, what you would do is you would create a clone copy, which will have Tetris already in there. So we will create a clone copy of one of the other games, copy, paste, and then we'll just get the name of the wheel art, and we'll paste the name inside of there. We'll already have it there, so what I'll do is I'll delete that out, and then you would have that there. And you just go to edit, and you would type in the name of the game inside that notepad. Right, so everything is directed. So what we'll do is we'll copy that name as well, and then we'll just change the profile in this notepad, what we copied off Rocket Launcher, and just paste the name of the profile into there. So we want to redirect that to the XML, and that should redirect it to TeknoParrot itself. So we will copy that string line, don't save. I'll just minimize that, and then head all the way back down to Tetris, was it? Tetris. And then just in the parameters there, just delete all that string out and just paste that new one in there. So we'll have D drive /arcade emulators and so on. So this is set to process close application, but we will test that. What you do is just click the launch and see if we get any errors pop up.
Loading.
Now make sure you do have TeknoParrot closed, because if you try and load it with TeknoParrot open, you're guaranteed to get an error. I don't know if you can see the screen, but if you can, you will see that the game itself has loaded. And that the controls themselves work. So we'll hit our escape key, or we'll hit our exit key on Hyperspin. That will close the game down. Now we know that game loads, so what we're going to do is close everything down of Rocket Launcher. I'll just minimize all that, and then I will just give Hyperspin a quick run. And let's head down to the TeknoParrot games. And then what we'll do is just check, make sure we'll have Tetris there. So we'll have Tetris. And what we'll do is we'll just load that game.
Loading.
And fingers crossed it doesn't have any errors or have any glitches within Hyperspin itself. Sometimes some games won't exit properly and stuff. So it's a little trial and error. But generally, if you have too much trouble with something, just forget about the game. Don't stress yourself too much trying to get it working. Just forget that game, go to another game, get that running, get it set up, and then you'll be off and away. Anything that you really request, just give us a shout. I'll try my best to get you set up. So then, don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see the screen, no problem. And that is it. Like I say, I'll be adding some new stuff to the TeknoParrot collection. So let's Alt and F4 out of Hyperspin. Yeah, so I'll be adding some new stuff to the TeknoParrot collection. Please leave a like and share the hell out of the video. And please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.